Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Solitaire Gems. Guys, if this is your first time ever joining me, I want to say thank you. If you joined me before or had a chance to view any one of my lives, I just want to say thank you so much for coming. So, tonight, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce myself and let you know why I do this. So my name is Jacinta Martin, and I am the creator of a blog called Fruitful Gems, and also a podcast called Polished Gems, and even this YouTube channel where I will be sharing one nugget of wisdom with you all weekly. Now, let me explain why we are here again tonight. This program is called Solitaire Gems, and what I've been doing with it is actually using this channel to share one gem weekly with you all. But tonight's particular topic that I'm super excited about, if you saw the title of it, this one's called "Are You Prepared to Enter Your New Season?" So the one gem I'm going to share tonight is on, are you prepared to enter that new season? We're going to talk and discuss more in detail and in depth, even about that. So, these have been amazing, not necessarily teaching sessions, but where I can just drop gems, where I can drop nuggets, because we live in a season where those are really helpful. Sometimes all you need is just one takeaway, right? And it can change the trajectory of where you go or even what you do. And what I spoke about in the first live that I did was people are in the midst of a new season. And let me explain why I teach on this. So, I teach people how to rebuild and to heal and become whole, not only in their mind, but their body and spirit, using the nine fruits of God's spirit to do so. The reason why I do this and the reason why I'm super passionate about this is because God did this for me. I had been going through so much. When I tell you I have been through, it almost feels like fire and test and trial after trial. So much so that I began to wonder, God, what is wrong with me? Did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? I even had family and friends ask me the same question. It was, when I tell you I've been through, it was that bad. They were like, maybe you upset God or something. Like, I've even been asked that question. But what God showed me is, no, I didn't upset him. But I did make some choices along the way and even some mistakes, right? That I needed to, my thinking was off. I had to get my mindset right, right? And getting my mindset right, it allowed me to get my spirit back on track, and has even allowed me to start working on understand how to get my body back on track, right? Because we think, oh, if I just work out physically, that's all I need to do. That's not necessarily the case. Really and truthfully, if you can work on getting your spirit in alignment, then your mind in alignment, and your body in alignment with the word of God, I promise you, you'll see transformation. I promise you, you'll see new things start to happen in your life. So this is why I'm super passionate about this, because I wouldn't have overcome the tests and trials of life had I not done that. So another thing I want to share about me as well, for those who may or may not know, I've been blogging since 2016. I know that's a long time, and wow, that seems so far away. But I'm I'm also a two-time author of two books currently. One is named a novel called The Fragmented Soul. The other is a devotional that is called From Faith to Faith, a 45 days devotional. And that one's based off of my blog, which had a previous name. So now the blog is called Fruitful Gems, but before it was previously called From Faith to Faith. And it was that because at the time my journey with God was basically literally from faith to faith. But it got a new name change when my journey with God changed. It changed over to Fruitful Gems. So I'm super grateful for the name change. I'm super grateful that God saw fit for it to take on new life and to be a wonderful thing. The other thing I wanted to share with you all is this: I am a mama too, and also a real estate agent in the state of Georgia. So that's who I am. That is what I do on a consistent basis. But what I want you guys to do, for whoever joins me, I have a couple of instructions that I want you to participate with me. If you're watching this for the first time, leave me your name um, in the comment section and where you're joining me from, right? Let me know where you're joining me from, because I love to do shout outs. But I do have a question that is actually based on tonight's live, right? It's, do you feel prepared to enter a new season of your life? For those of you who are actually in a new season or been instructed, sorry, my hair is everywhere tonight, or been instructed to go through a new season, let me know in the comment section. Do you feel prepared to enter that new season? Do you feel that you're ready to walk through it, to receive it, all that good stuff? Okay. So let me know in the comments, whether it's hashtag replay and you want to answer the question. Let me know in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. And of course, respond or even shout you out. So again, like I mentioned tonight, why we're here is because I'm super excited to share with you all this one gem that helped me, right? And that you can use to help you prepare to enter the new season that you're even being called to go through or even walk through, okay? Also, what I wanted to go over is this: to get more gems like this, if this blesses you, if this is something that you're like, oh my goodness, this has helped me, what I want you to do is get more access. Stay connected with me by heading over to my blog, www.fruitfulgems.com, and become a part of our family. When you sign up and when you join to be a part of our family, you get connected to not only knowing when we're going to go live, you get connected to our social media sites as well and other places. So let me see. I had the link in the comment section, but I'm going to go ahead and put it there as well for you guys. Give me 1 second as I type this up. Join our family, guys. Here again, that website is www.fruitfulgems.com. We would love to have you and love for you to be a part of these nuggets and these gems of wisdom. So I'm going to add that there, guys. So yeah, go ahead and sign up. We even have a free guide that we offer as well called Discover Your Worth. Has amazing information in it and even more gems and nuggets. But guys, I don't want to hold you any longer. Let's get into the gem that I told you I really want to share with you tonight. And for those who are just joining me, that gem that I mentioned is, do you feel prepared to enter a new season of your life? So let me give you some background context as to why this topic has been super important and why I even feel led to share with you. The lesson came to me when I actually had family who were coming over to visit, right? They were coming over to visit from out of town, and I like to give clothes away. Especially, this actually took place when my daughter was younger, and I still do this to this day. But I gave clothes away to family members who were like, hey, do you have any clothes, this, that, and the third. So I would do that even before they asked and even when they asked, because here's why I did it. I would give my daughter's clothes away because somebody actually blessed me in a time of need when I really could not afford to get clothes for my daughter. So it started becoming a tradition and almost a thing that I felt when God spoke or I felt led to do by God, that I would go ahead and do that. So I began cleaning out my daughter's dresser and even her closet a couple of days before the family was to arrive. I was like, I'll do it early. If I do it early, I'll get a chance to basically clean out everything and go back through and see if I missed anything, right? Because when you're doing cleaning, a lot of times you'll you'll get it together, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, wait, I may have missed a couple of pieces. Just like when you do laundry, right? Every now and again, we might miss a sock, we might miss a shirt or something that didn't make it to the laundry. Well, what God ended up showing me was I failed to be fully prepared for the family to come and pick up this bag of clothes. Here's why. I started cleaning out the dresser a couple days early. But what I failed to do was go through the closet and completely look through everything. What I ended up doing was I started doing right by cleaning out the dresser. Then I moved on to another task. And then I moved on to something else, and then something else, and then something else. If you've ever been one of those people, I'm one of those people who, when I clean, if I don't stay focused, I will be all the way in left field. Here's what I mean. I'll give you a prime example. When I'm cleaning my bathroom, or if I don't meticulously go from one section to the next section to the next section until the bathroom is done. So, for instance, if I don't clean the tub, the toilet, the sink, the floor, mirrors first, stuff like that. If I don't do it meticulously in a particular order, or if I stop and get distracted because I go, oh, okay, I'm tired of cleaning that. Let me go clean my room. My bathroom never gets finished. Or if I go, oh, the towels are dirty. Let me go wash the towels while I'm cleaning the bathroom. My bathroom never gets finished. I'm one of those people who I have to stay on task, because if I sit down for a moment, if I look at something else, I will be unprepared for the bathroom being complete or for the task being complete, right? So that's what ended up happening with me cleaning out my daughter's clothes and getting this bag prepared. I started with the dresser. I did it a few days early, but I failed to finish the closet. So what ended up happening, long story short, it never happened. The family came, and I had only had the dresser clothing that I had pulled out in the bag. Totally forgot about the closet. Totally forgot about it even the day that they came and picked up the bag. And what's crazy is I still had enough time to do it the days that they came to visit. But because I thought I had completed the task, nothing. I didn't even notice until I went back into the closet to pick something out for my daughter, and that's when I found some more clothes. So I'm going to give you guys another example. The other example was actually something that happened to me more recent. More recently, I was asked to do a welcome for a new church that was starting called GNCC. And that nickname, or that acronym, is for Greater New Creation Cathedral. So, with this being the first church service, I was like, oh, I could wing it. I could come up with anything on the spot that would work. I could set the tone and the pace and this, that, and the third. And here's what's funny. The Holy Spirit convicted me and was like, you're going to do what? You're seriously going to stand up in front of people and wing a welcome speech? And I was like, ooh, no, I do much better when I actually prepare a thing. I do so much better when I'm prepared. Even if it was bullet point notes on welcome everyone, the next thing could be, here's the information they need to know, a quick Bible verse, and I could flow from there, right? At least some bullet points, at least, at minimum, right? So once the Holy Spirit convicted me and I obeyed, here's what's interesting. I obeyed, and the outcome was great. I received compliments not only from the pastor, but others, because I obeyed, because I followed the instruction that I was supposed to, right? So let me give you that one gem. And here it is: stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm going to say that again. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Guys, I pray that you write this down somewhere, and I pray that you save this even in your voice notes, even in your phone. And I'm going to say it one more time because, sometimes third time's the charm. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Let me explain why. The Bible verse that I use to remind myself of this gem is this: Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6 through 8 in the KJV, which is the King James Version. Says this: Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which, having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest. So now all those TH words, let me break it down a little further and bring it to today. Basically, what this verse is basically saying is the ant, without anyone telling it what to do, goes and provides their meat in the summer and gathereth food for the harvest. So they gather, the worker ants gather. And let me explain where I got this information from. So I researched and saw on tarot.com an article that says, where do ants go for the winter or go in for the winter? Okay. It says ants are masters of overwintering or waiting out the winter season. When cold air arrives, ants' body temperatures will drop dramatically and their body movements become sluggish. Ants respond by seeking out warm places such as deep soil, um, and under rocks and even under the barks of the trees. Because they do this, and they do it on a community level by hunkering down in clusters to maintain their body heat as they huddle protectively around the queen, sheltering their population's lifeline. During this time, the entrance of their nest closes as ant traffic slows down and even begins to cease. Now, when warm weather returns, the ants become active again, opening up the entrance to venture outside. And here's what's interesting about that. When they go back outside, they consume large amounts of food in the autumn to put on fat, thereby allowing them to go without much food throughout the winter. As winter passes, ants enter a dormant stage, as I mentioned, which they lay low, feeding off the fats and the carbohydrates and the proteins that they have previously stored up. So, this is interesting to me, right? It should be an example. This is why the Bible verse in Proverbs talks about the ants. The ants store up and basically prepare for winter. They prepare for the season before it comes. So, how can I put this in context and make it more plain? What are you preparing for in your new season? What has God asked you to do? I'm going to give you some new examples of things that I've been through. When God asked me to go get my real estate license, I had to prepare. I had to prepare for the examination, the school examination, and I had to prepare for the state examination. One of the things that I did in real estate in particular was, before preparing for the state exam, I went to the library because for our state exam at the time when I took it was a 4-hour exam, no breaks. Clock starts the minute basically the minute they sign you in and have all your information, they put you at a computer, your clock is up and running. Meaning for 4 whole hours, no food, no drink, and no bathroom break. Unless if you took those things, the clock does not stop. It keeps running. So you had to be mindful of your time to get through all the questions or to get the percentage needed to pass the state exam. So, in doing so, what I did to prepare my mind and to prepare my body was I went to the library. I sat at the library literally Monday through Friday and sat there for 4 hours straight. The reason why I did it is because I needed my body to understand what that felt like. And then also, I would study the questions for 4 hours as well, because I needed to know how intense that was going to be. Not only on my mind, not only on my body, but also on my spirit. By doing that, it built up almost a calisthenic for me to be able to understand what the real test and what the real exam was going to be like. I believe doing that helped me to condition myself to understand what passing the test would look like, right? I'll give you another example to make it real world. So that Proverbs, the King James Version with all of those TH, is not something in the past that you can just kind of push or brush aside. Let me bring it to another real world example for you. What and also actually let me go back to that clothing example that I mentioned. Had I been fully prepared, I would have had everything prepared for that for my family, right? Had I gone the extra mile and prepared before they even came, had I done the closet the same day, had I done the dresser the same day, had I double checked myself to make sure I was good, I would have had everything to give them, right? I would have been more prepared in that season. The other thing, to give you a even more real world example, is God asking you to write a book. In order to write my novel, I'm going to tell you how I had to prepare. I actually had to do some research on novels. I had to go seek out some books and some things. I started by asking God some questions. I said, God, I've never written a novel. This is the first time I've ever done this task. What books can I read to actually know how to write a novel? Because prior to the novel, the only thing I had written was devotionals, and I had done research on how to write a devotional. I hadn't done research on how to write a novel because that was not needed or necessary for that season. But for the season God was asking me to write, I needed to know specifically how to write a novel. When I prayed and I asked for resources, God gave me 13 books. I saw this on a YouTube video by Will Smith naming 13 books that he uh, that was regarding screenwriting. Because the interesting thing was my novel, God wanted it to be written in a storytelling way that almost where it could be adapted, right? Or have an adaptation made from it. So when I got those resources and saw that video, I wrote down the 13 books. After that, I checked my local library after advice from a friend of mine and found those books. I found not all 13. I found out that the library at the time only had two of the books. And the funniest thing is, one of the books was checked out by somebody currently when I was inquiring. So I only had access to one book. It's the one book I based my novel off of in terms of character development. And it was the best resource on how to write my novel because it challenged me to make the characters real. What I realized about novel writing is the same way it's like screenplay writing, right? Screenplay writing is you want the characters to be real. So that's what I did. It helped me to prepare for the novel, and it helped me to write the story in a way that allowed the characters to come alive. And really, you can imagine them, you can immerse yourself in them, right? So, let me double back because now that I've shared this gem with you, ask yourself the question again. Are you prepared for the new season that you're entering into? Have you done the research? Have you looked up to see where you're supposed to go if you're supposed to go back to school, right? Or if it's a job, a new job in this season, who are you supposed to work with? You can ask God all these questions. It's not bugging him. He's not worried about you asking. None of that. No question is too small. Because I'm going to even give you one more example. When I took my real estate exam, I asked God, which school did He want me to go to? Because I said, first off, there are 50 states in the United States of America. Each state has their own set of schools, both online and brick and mortar. And I said, and I live in the state of Georgia. That's still too many possibilities opened up to me, especially the online school part. That's way too many possibilities that are open. So I said, you know my lifestyle. You know what works best for me. Show me which school to go to. And here's what's super funny. Literally 3 to 4 days after it, God answered my prayer by sending a mailer in the mail about school. I hadn't received mailers regarding school in like the longest time, right? Now, sometimes they come as junk mail and stuff like that, but I hadn't been receiving those. But I know that was an answered prayer, and I'm so grateful because I went to Kennesaw State University and saw that they had a real estate program for adults, for working adults, and it was perfect because as a mom of two at the time, I really needed something that I could do online. I needed something that could work where I could work at my own pace and take my exams. Like I could schedule out my exams. It was the perfect school for my situation as a mom of my two kids and being a stay at home wife at the time. It was the perfect situation. When I tell you, God will help you prepare, He will show you where you need to go, He will let you know the resources to help you prepare. Just ask Him. No question, like I mentioned, is too small. You're not bugging him. He is not disturbed by your questions at all. But he's not bothered and he's willing to answer. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this gem. As I said, the gem was stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because when you do so, you'll be prepared in and out of season for whatever God is asking you to do. Plus, when you prepare before you have to do a thing, it allows you to show up even in a better capacity. I'll give you one last example that I'll just leave you with for tonight. Even for this, I had to come prepared with an outline and an agenda because it allowed me to stick to my talking points and to figure out what I really, really wanted to say to you guys. So I hope this nugget has blessed you. Again, if you want more gems like this, please join our family. You see it here on the screen. Go to www.fruitfulgems.com. And as you see, that is gems spelled Jems. And guys, thank you so much for joining me live. Thank you so much if you're joining me on the hashtag replay. I pray this has blessed you. Invite a friend next time and encourage somebody else to come and hear this out. Like I said, I plan on doing this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. So join me for a new nugget. And as we talk about for the month of October, is about new seasons. Have a wonderful evening and thank you again for your time. Bye, guys.